Hey everyone, welcome back. So you know how you sent us that material about how to start an AI business, even if you're starting from scratch? Well, we thought it'd be super valuable to really dive deep into it together.
Yeah, for sure. There's so much packed in there, so we figured we could pull out the most important stuff, maybe map out some clear steps so you can really see the potential and how you might actually get started.
Right, because that's the big question, right? How do you actually make this happen? But first, what really struck me was the main promise. This idea that you can build a real profitable business using AI even if you're starting with zero AI knowledge. No coding skills needed, you don't need some fancy degree, and you don't need a ton of money to invest.
I think that's what's so exciting about this. It feels accessible, like something anyone could potentially do. And the material doesn't just make empty promises.
Yeah, it actually backs it up with some pretty impressive real-world examples. The presenter themselves claims to have made millions from this, and they say people in their community are making anywhere from $10,000 a month to over 100,000. I mean, those are some serious numbers.
Yeah, you can't ignore that kind of success. And it really makes you wonder, why now? Why is this such a big deal right now?
Well, the material kind of paints a picture of a major economic shift that's already happening. Like AI is starting to automate so many tasks in every industry you can think of. Law, accounting, even medicine, it's everywhere.
They even cite that prediction from PwC that by the mid-2030s, almost a third of all jobs could be automated. I mean, that's a huge number. That's not just some small change, it's a fundamental shift.
Right. It's not just about learning a new skill, it's about positioning yourself for the future.
Hmm.
And the material lays out this kind of stark choice. You can either ignore it and risk getting left behind, or you can learn these AI skills and kind of ride the wave, become a winner in this new economy. And this deep dive, this is all about that second path. It's about equipping yourself with the knowledge and the tools to actually build a future-proof business in the age of AI.
Absolutely. And to get us started, they've outlined 5 main AI business models that seem especially well suited for beginners.
Yeah, they break it down into AI influencing, AI consulting, the AI automation agency model they call ITRIPLAY, and then there's AI education and AI SAWs. And what's really helpful is they actually go into the pros and cons of each based on real world experience, which I think is super valuable.
Definitely. So let's take a closer look at each one, starting with AI influencing. What does that actually look like on a day-to-day basis?
Well, imagine being someone people turn to for understanding AI. It's about creating content like YouTube videos, articles, social media posts that take all these complex AI concepts and break them down in a way that anyone can understand. You're kind of like a translator, making the AI world accessible to a wider audience.
And how does that translate into income? Like, how do you actually make money as an AI influencer?
There are a few main avenues. They talk about earning money from ads on your content, affiliate marketing where you recommend AI tools and get a cut if someone buys through your link. And as your audience grows, you could even get brand partnerships or sponsorships.
That sounds pretty accessible, especially for someone just starting out.
Yeah.
What are some of the advantages of this model?
Well, they highlight the low startup costs. You probably already have everything you need, a phone, a laptop, and an internet connection. Plus, because AI is such a hot topic right now, there's potential for your audience to grow pretty fast.
What about the downsides? Are there any challenges with AI influencing?
Yeah, the direct income might be lower compared to some of the other models, especially at first. You also have to be really consistent with creating new content, which can be time consuming, and not everyone's comfortable being on camera or putting themselves out there publicly.
Makes sense. So what kind of income could someone realistically expect from AI influencing?
They suggest that with consistent effort and a decent-sized, engaged audience, you could probably earn somewhere between $2,000 to $5,000 per month after about 3 to 6 months. So it's definitely a viable option, but it takes time and consistent effort.
All right, so let's move on to AI consulting. How is that different from influencing?
Well, AI consulting is more about actually advising businesses on how they can use AI. So you're taking your knowledge, maybe you've even learned from following AI influencers, and you're helping companies choose the right AI tools, develop a strategy for integrating AI into their operations, and generally navigating the complexities of the AI landscape.
And the source material even notes that consulting is a natural next step after building a following as an influencer. It's like going from talking about AI to actually helping people use it.
Exactly.
And in terms of getting paid, you basically charge for your expertise, right? either through one-on-one consulting sessions or maybe longer-term advisory contracts.
Yep, exactly. You're selling your insights and your time.
What are the big advantages of AI consulting, especially for someone new to the field?
They say it's relatively easy to get started once you have a solid understanding of the basics. You can also scale your income pretty quickly by increasing your hourly rates as you gain experience and demand grows. Plus, you get that valuable experience of working directly with clients, which can really boost your confidence and your skills.
What about the potential downsides or limitations of consulting?
Well, the main limitation is that you're still trading your time for money, which limits your ability to scale in the long run. It can also become repetitive, and you always need to stay ahead of the curve, making sure you know more than your clients.
That's a good point. So what kind of earning potential are we talking about with AI consulting?
The hourly rates can vary a lot, but they mentioned a range from around $300 an hour to over $1,000, sometimes even more, depending on your niche, your expertise, and the demand for your specific skills.
Okay, so now let's talk about what the source actually recommends as the best starting point for beginners.
Yeah.
The AI automation agency or AAA model. What exactly is that all about?
Think of it like this. Instead of just talking about AI or advising on it, with the AAA model, you're actually building and implementing AI-powered solutions for businesses. It's like being a web design agency, but instead of building websites, you're building AI systems.
So you might build things like AI chatbots that can handle customer service inquiries on a website, voice assistants that can answer the phone and rat calls, or automated workflows that streamline internal processes for companies.
Right, exactly. And you're getting paid to actually build and deploy these solutions.
So how does the payment work? Do you charge per project, or is it more of a recurring thing?
It can be both. You could charge a fixed fee for a specific project, or you could have retainer agreements where businesses pay you a monthly fee for ongoing maintenance and support of their AI systems.
Okay, so the source material is really emphasizing the AAA model, especially for people just starting out. What are the big advantages here?
Well, first of all, the startup costs are relatively low because, and this is key, you can leverage no-code and low-code platforms. This means you don't need to be a coding whiz to build these systems. You can use existing tools that handle a lot of the technical complexity for you.
That's a huge barrier removed right there.
Right. And there's also a massive, and I mean massive demand for these kinds of AI automation services. Businesses are realizing how much time and money they can save, so they're eager to implement these solutions. And it's also a highly scalable model. As you get more clients and more experience, you can build a team and take on bigger projects.
They also mentioned that the AAA model is a great way to actually learn valuable AI skills.
Yeah, it's like learning by doing. By actually building these systems, you gain practical experience that you can apply to other areas of AI. They actually see the AAA model as a potential gateway to other AI business models like AI education or AI SaaS.
So you're not just building a business, you're also building valuable, in-demand skills along the way.
Yeah.
So what about the downsides? Are there any challenges with the AAA model?
Well, they mentioned that there is a bit of a learning curve, especially at first. You do need to learn how to use these no-code and low-code platforms effectively, and that takes some time and effort.
But that learning curve seems worth it when you consider the earning potential.
Oh, absolutely. They talk about projects ranging from a few $1,000s to over $100,000. And scaling to a point where you're making over $100,000 per month is presented as a realistic goal.
Wow, that's significantly more than the other models we've discussed. It seems like the AAA model really offers the best combination of accessibility and earning potential.
It really does. It's a sweet spot for beginners who are serious about building a successful AI business.
Okay, so now let's move on to AI education. What's involved in that model?
This is basically about teaching others what you know about AI. So you might create online courses, write ebooks, host webinars, or even offer one-on-one coaching to help people understand or use AI effectively.
So you're leveraging your expertise to help others learn and benefit from the power of AI.
Exactly. And you get paid for that knowledge and guidance.
What are some of the advantages of AI education as a business model?
Well, it's highly scalable. Once you've created a course or an ebook, you can sell it to many people without much extra effort. This can lead to high profit margins and a lot of flexibility. You're essentially creating a product that can generate passive income.
Sounds appealing, but what about the challenges? What are some of the things someone should be aware of before diving into AI education?
They stress the importance of credibility. You really need to have proven expertise and results to show people you know what you're talking about. It's often best to have some success with something like the AAA model first, so you have real-world experience to share.
So it's not just about teaching, it's about demonstrating that you've actually walked the walk.
Right. You need to build trust and show people you can actually help them achieve results with AI.
Okay, and finally, let's talk about AI SaaS, or software as a service. This one sounds pretty complex.
It is the most complex of the five. It's basically about creating a software application that leverages AI to solve a specific problem for businesses. And then you sell access to that software on a subscription basis.
So think of it like building the next big AI-powered tool that companies rely on for a specific task or process.
Exactly. And those subscription fees can add up to some serious recurring revenue.
What are some of the potential benefits of successfully launching an AI SaaS product?
Well, the recurring revenue is a huge draw. If you build something people really need and use regularly, that income stream can be incredibly valuable. It's also highly scalable, as you can add more users without dramatically increasing your costs. And if your software becomes really successful, there's potential for a huge payday if you decide to sell your company down the line.
Sounds like the ultimate goal for a lot of entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
But what are the challenges? What makes AI SaaS particularly difficult?
Well, building a fully functional software product, especially one that involves AI, is really expensive and time-consuming. It's not something you can just whip up in a weekend.
And there's always the risk that your software can become outdated quickly as the field of AI moves so fast.
Exactly. And you often need significant upfront investment before you see any return. So while the rewards can be massive, it's a high-risk, high-reward endeavor.
So looking at all five models, it's clear why they highlight the AAA model as the best place to start for most beginners. It seems like the perfect balance of accessibility and potential.
Right. It leverages those no-code and low-code tools, so you don't need to be a coding expert. It taps into a huge and growing market, so there's plenty of potential for clients. You can earn a significant income, and you're learning valuable skills that can open doors to other AI opportunities down the line.
It's a compelling case for sure. So let's say someone's convinced about the AAA model. What are the first steps they should take? They break it down into a three-phase process, right?
Yep. They call it learn, apply, and monetize.
Sounds pretty straightforward. What's involved in the learn phase?
This is all about building your foundation in AI automation. They specifically mention mastering prompt engineering, which is basically about learning how to communicate effectively with AI systems to get them to do what you want, and understanding the different types of AI systems you can build with no-code and low-code tools, things like chatbots, voice assistants, and workflow automations.
So it's about getting a solid grasp of the basics and the tools of the trade before you jump into building anything.
Exactly. And they actually recommend presenters' free course, which is linked in their 6-month roadmap, as a great starting point for acquiring these essential skills.
All right, so once you get the basics down, what happens in the apply phase?
This is where you take that knowledge and put it into practice. It's about gaining real-world experience by building AI solutions for actual clients. This is crucial because it builds your confidence, helps you overcome challenges, and gives you tangible proof of your skills that you can then show to future clients.
So it's like an internship for your AI business.
Yeah, kind of. And they recommend starting by working with a few clients for free to get your feet wet.
Free work, huh? How do you find people willing to do that?
They suggest tapping into your existing network, friends, family, people in the presenter's school community, or even professional contacts. It's about finding people who are willing to give you a chance to prove yourself.
And the 6-month roadmap actually provides scripts and tips for reaching out to potential clients.
Yep, it's all laid out for you. It's about getting that initial experience in a low-pressure environment before you start charging for your services.
Okay, so you've learned the basics, you've gained some real-world experience. Now it's time to make some money, right? What happens in the monetize phase?
This is all about transitioning from free work to paid projects. You've built your skills, you've got some successful projects under your belt. Now it's time to start charging for your expertise.
So what's the best way to price your services as a new AI automation agency?
They recommend 2 main pricing models. The first is a simple hourly rate. You estimate how many hours a project will take and charge accordingly, maybe like $50 an hour, for example. It's straightforward and transparent, but your income is directly tied to how many hours you work.
Makes sense. And the second model?
They call it cost-plus pricing. Here, you estimate the total developer hours needed for a project, figure out how much it would cost to pay a developer, and then charge the client 2 or 3 times that amount.
So you're factoring in your overhead and profit margin, even if you outsource the actual development work.
Exactly. It allows you to scale more easily because you're not necessarily doing all the technical work yourself. You can leverage other people's skills and still make a profit.
That's a smart strategy,
Yeah.
especially for someone building their business. Now, they also talk a lot about the importance of niching down. What does that mean in this context?
It means focusing on a very specific type of AI solution for a very specific type of business. So instead of building any kind of AI solution for any business, you might specialize in building AI-powered appointment scheduling systems for dentists, for example.
So it's about becoming the go-to expert for a very particular problem in a specific market.
Exactly. And that has a lot of benefits.
Hmm.
It makes your marketing more targeted, allows you to develop deep expertise, and often leads to repeatable processes and solutions, which makes scaling much easier and more profitable.
So it's not just about building AI solutions, it's about strategically positioning yourself within the market. Now, they also mentioned this 6-month action plan and a bunch of free resources to help people along the way.
Yeah, they've put together a very detailed 6-month AI business roadmap that breaks down exactly what you should focus on each month.
What's the general structure of that roadmap?
The first 2 months are all about learning. You're taking that free course, understanding the AAA model, and getting comfortable with those essential skills. Then, months 3 and 4 are for applying what you've learned. You're finding those free clients, building your portfolio, and gaining real-world experience. And finally, months 5 and 6 are all about monetizing. You're attracting paying clients, setting your rates, focusing your marketing, and building your reputation within your chosen niche.
That sounds like a pretty solid plan for getting started. What about the resources they provide? What kind of stuff is included?
Oh, they've got all sorts of goodies. Step-by-step instructions, contract templates, proposal examples, guides on specific aspects of the business, and even weekly Q&A sessions with the presenter himself.
So they're really holding your hand through the entire process.
It seems that way, yeah. They want to make sure you have everything you need to succeed.
So to wrap things up, it seems like the message here is that starting an AI business, especially with this AI automation agency model, is a real achievable opportunity, even if you're starting from scratch.
Absolutely. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It takes work and dedication, but the potential rewards are huge. You can earn a great income, build a future-proof career, and be a part of this incredible technological revolution that's happening right now.
And the best part is you don't have to do it alone. You've got a clear blueprint, a structured roadmap, and a ton of resources to help you along the way.
Exactly. So with all that in mind, here's a question for you. What problem in your field or in an industry you know well could be solved or improved with AI automation? Maybe that's your niche right there, just waiting to be discovered. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.